Hello everybody, my name is PentaHybrid and welcome to the perspective of the game Salt & Sanctuary. A game by Ska Studios, who, if you are familiar with, created the Dishwasher series of games back when they were really prevalent on the Xbox Live Arcade many years ago. During the indie summer of arcade, the Dishwasher 2 came out and made waves. Very good developers, they have a history of making great games. Salt & Sanctuary, however, is their newest iteration, and it is a game that came out very recently, within the past week, on PC. It was earlier this year on PS4, and it's been quite prominently called the 2D Dark Souls, which is a label a lot of games get nowadays that it's kind of getting tiring, because there's so many games that just because you die a lot, they call it Dark Souls, and well, to be fair, a lot of people have those opinions, but I think Salt & Sanctuary, amongst other games like Death's Gambit, and even Aether, which is going to be coming out hopefully later this year, games like those hold true to the style of game because it is a style of game that is Dark Souls. And Salt & Sanctuary, as you'll see when we jump into a new game, I've played a bit of this game. We're just going to call ourselves here Dr. Sir, because I've already played a bit of this game. We'll actually just create ourselves a quick character here. We'll go red hair, why not? Give ourselves a big old red beard. I played a bunch of this game already. I think I've gotten, I shouldn't say a bunch of this game, because I've heard that the game is quite deep, but I have gotten through the second boss that you're allowed to run into. And I know there's a lot of different bosses, but I've ran into we're going to be Jindarin this time. I've ran into a lot, the second boss that you are able to run into that I know of. My current run that I play on my own time, is a paladin that I fell instantly in love with. And I think just for the humor of today, we're going to play as... we'll play as a knight, seeing as, I haven't heard anything about knights. And we're going to take the grasping ring, because it's a very good item to start with, because it gives you extra salt upon enemies killed. This world has known war for centuries, but peace is finally preciously near. We deliver the princess to the kingdom across the sea, where a marriage alliance would save us all. Failing this mission would surely plunge us into darker days. Not quite the darkest dungeon, darker days, but darker days nonetheless. Alright, so this is Darkest Dungeon. So this is Salt & Sanctuary. We are on a boat, so if you're easily nauseated by swaying cameras, the opening of this game might get to you, because there is a lot of motion. First thing you want to notice about this game is if you are a Dark Souls fan, or a Demon Souls fan, or even a Bloodborne fan, where they have very particular control schemes that have relatively stayed the same throughout all the games, and myself included, I had just gotten done beating Dark Souls 3 within the past month. And so, jumping into this game, I want to play it with Dark Souls controls, and that's not going to help you out, because right button in Dark Souls is your attack, right trigger is your attack, left trigger is your shield, left button is your shield. This one, Left button switches you from between two stances. You can dual wield, you can hold two shields, you can hold a bow in your left hand. You know, you have two stances you're able to choose from. Right now, obviously, I have shield and no shield. X is to attack. Holding down the button gives you a stronger attack. Y is your strength attack. Holding down the button gives you a stronger attack. And this character doesn't seem to have that same strong attack. Maybe it's depending on your weapon. Left trigger is your shield. Left trigger and X is to parry, which is very nice and helpful. And you can do it in all your stances, which is very helpful. You don't need to have a shield. Right trigger is to dodge in any direction. Right stick is to look around the map. Jump is to A. There's actually a jump because it's a 2D game. You can break the environment. I'm going to talk to this guy. "Oh, you there, stranger. We've been boarded in the night. Ugh. They want to kidnap our lady. Ransom her." And he's dead. So let's see if I can show this off real quick. Because you can hit the enemy with your shield. Kind of not. Oh wait, I can't. There it is. You can parry, which is super useful. If you're a Dark Souls fan, you know how useful that is. Obviously, here we've got a ladder we can climb up to another guy who's over there. We're not going to go to him yet. We're going to break this vase. Just because I can. You can attack in the air. You can attack going downwards with a downward strike, which I fell in love with in the first area of the game, the Festering Grounds, because just the way the map is laid out. You can also knock enemies off guard with your regular attacks, which will leave them open to parries. You can see the B trigger pop up there. But we're about to die, so we'll just go die right away against the unspeakable deep, or Cthulhu, if you will. We're gonna get through this. Yeah, we're gonna get through this stage of the game just because I know there have been rumors from the PS4 players that said, "Oh, feeling this mission would surely plunge us into darker days. I awoke to the sounds of waves washing on rock, and I knew I was still alive. I must find the princess." So I know there's been speakings and murmurings from the PS4 era of this game when it first started that if you play really well, just like the Asylum Demon, you're able to kill that first boss. However, killing it or dying against him gets you to the Shivering Shore, which is your first area of the game. And if you walk up here, you got this dude who will ask you basically a couple of questions about how to build your character. "Well, hello there. You were just a fleshy bit of flotsam who washed ashore with the rest of us. You'll want shelter. You'll want sanctuary. But what is a sanctuary without faith? There's an empty sanctuary up the beach. You can claim it for your creed. Tell me, do you keep the no gods?" You say no. If you say yes, I don't know what happens when you say yes, honestly. I should have said yes, because I didn't say yes the first time. "You don't keep the new gods? Rare. So you're a pilgrim of Devara. Your sort has been dying out for centuries, I'm afraid." No. No? And then he'll eventually give you a choice between 3 different gods you can worship, or 3 different deities you can worship, which is really cool. "You don't know gods at all. You're the foolish from the north." Mountainsmith, yep. So he's asking you between, I believe, the 3 gods, which are the new gods, the Devara, the Light of Devara, which is the Light of Faith, the Shrine of Faith, and then the Mountainsmith, which is the guys that worship no gods. And if you say no, he'll ask you between those 3. So the Iron Ones are the Mountainsmiths, the guys that don't have gods. The 3 are the first new gods that he asked you about, and the Goddess of Light is Devara. On my main file, I'm the Goddess of Light. I worship Devara. So on this one, we're just going to go the Iron Ones. "Men are from the mountains in the northern continent of Makdor, are Iron Ones. They believe in no gods, believing instead in the iron will of man. They love steel but hate magic." Well, yeah, because I'm playing as a knight. And the paladin metal icon. Awesome. And I'm going to guess... Oh, nope, look at it, I got an achievement for choosing the Iron Ones. And I'm going to guess if it's very similar to the... Yep, Place the metal icon. Oh, sweet. So that is very different. I didn't know about that. That is very different from the Light of Devara, which is where in my first file, I picked the Light of Devara and they gave me a vase, which I was able to place on the Sanctuary. So it's nice that it's different every time. I wonder if that greatly affects your gameplay. I don't know yet. Much like Dark Souls, there are these little messages you can pick up. This one, these are all the tutorial ones that teach you how to play the game. I know how to play the game, so all I'm going to do is come up here and kill these guys. Combat is very, as you noticed earlier, very similar to Dark Souls, where it's a lot of paying attention, a lot of noticing your enemy's movements. I'm fat rolling because I'm choosing a knight and I'm playing a very heavy style character. In here, we have our first Sanctuary, which is very dark right now. But when I come over here, and I place my metal icon, in this case, on the shrine itself, now we have a Sanctuary, where we are able to level up, use the Tree of Skill, which I will show you in a minute. You may have seen it in the opening of the video, or make offerings, which we will get to in a few minutes. It's nice to see that now we have meat rolls, or hearty rolls. Because I have, like, regular style Estus flasks things, like healing flasks, like healing bottles of red potion, like generic red potion, on my main file as the Devara. And on this one, I'm like a mountain man, and so it's like, I don't want that, I want bread. Pouches of salt there you can see. If you use them, they are much like the soul items, the consumable soul items in Dark Souls. Giant fun ahead. These are all player left ones. Praise the salt. Fear not, my friend. Oh, and now they're gone. That's a shortcut down there for way later. Oh shit, I pushed the wrong button. You will, if you are a Dark Souls fan, you will push the wrong button. I would say quite frequently on your first time playing this, because, oh, I got the hiccups now. Because of just how familiar the games feel, and because I am a Dark Souls fanatic and a veteran of the games and playing them for so long, coming to this and not being able to push right button and attack, which I haven't rebinded. I know you can. We'll get to that in a minute when I show the controls and stuff off. I'm out of stamina. Stamina management is also quite useful, just like you would imagine. Oh shit. There are combos. Different ways you can... Oh, I got locks of hair. I'm actually looking for those in my in my main file. Like, that's so stupid that I found those right away in this one. I'm actually looking for those, because that's how you upgrade your equipment. I'm on the quest for getting more, because I want to upgrade my mace that I have, but we are not talking about maces right now. I want to show you guys a little bit more of the combat system, because there are combos you can do. Let's go down here. So if I weak attack and strong attack, I do an upward string, and if I strong attack and then solid attack, I do this like wicked bash, like I hit him with the side of my sword rather than the front of my sword. It's kind of like a frontward swing. Yeah. So that's the basics of combat. Pretty relatively simple, you know, according to similar games of this style, where I don't know if there's any purpose of over-killing them, but they die after that third hit, and if I hit them again, their heads fly off. I don't know if there's any, like, higher chance of getting loot or anything like that. I had nothing that I've noticed, I should say. Anything in the environment can be broken. I should mention that this game is ridiculously hard, which, if you're a fan of the genre, you should not be surprised by. But let's go over here, out on this outcropping, kick down this ladder, which is a shortcut back to our Sanctuary, which we're going to be going, because I want to show you guys the leveling up and the Sanctuary building, which is what we just picked up. So if we go into our inventory here, we can see that we have a bunch of pouches of salt and bundles of salt. A lot of people have trouble with this. The interface, a lot of people have trouble with the interface, and I found it so neat. I found it so much nicer than a lot of people are finding it. So on the right hand, you have your actual equipment screen. Like in Dark Souls, you have your equipment screen where you change your equipment. You can go in here and change your shield and read the info on it and check out the stats. And over here, you can change out your consumable items and stuff. Like the potato, I can throw at a foe. Awesome, I have a ranged potato. Did not know that. And there's all these things. Here's your secondary, so if I want to go over here and, make my secondary also a shield, changing doesn't do anything. However, and I like how it neatly... Oh, yeah, why? I like how it neatly tells you which one you're using, so if I go over here and do this, you can see that it's lit up. But yes, a lot of people find trouble with this. So on the left hand, you have your actual stats and stuff. And over there, you have your level, strength, endurance, dexterity, willpower, magic, and wisdom, and they are all highlighted for different branches. Then you can go over and you can see that I'm a mountain smith with my devotion at 1, my total health, focus, stamina, all kinds of stuff. Focus, I don't know yet. I don't know that mechanic yet. I wish I could get into deep detail about that, but 94.5%, and over 1 more is like my defenses, which is really good. However, most people don't know how to find their actual inventory and settings. You can just go from this page, you scroll under these 3 white icons, go up, and you can actually enter your inventory with all of the items you picked up, including the locks of hair, the stone merchant, your keys, rings, etc., etc. By hitting B, you go back. There's a bestiary, which is actually very nice, and it shows you up to the 98 enemies currently that you're able to fight and kill in this game, including bosses, which on here they actually show you, after you kill them, what kind of items and loot you can find from them. They tell you how many you've killed, how many you've been killed by. So if I go over 1 more, or over 2 more, you can see that these rotten walkers have a chance to drop potatoes, red shard, and red shard. So they have a higher chance of dropping the red shards. They each have a bit of lore and backstory behind them. Very, very neat. I absolutely love the bestiary. Any game that has one of those is really nice. And then you got your menu with your video settings, quality settings. It's a 2D game, so don't expect much from the video settings other than your resolution and your full screen. No option for anti-aliasing, no option for VSync, but the game performs very well on my monitor, very well visually, so I don't think there's a need for that unless you have a very specific PC. And under game you have language, controls, and under language, some of these languages are unlockable, which I did not expect. HUD size, which, if I remember correctly, I have mine at 130 on my main file. And you can trim it, you can go minimal, you can go full, because if I remember correctly, mine is on full and at 130, just because I feel like at 100% on my monitor, I have a pretty big monitor, some of the stuff is just a little too small, and I understand a lot of people don't like clutter, but here we go. We'll go to a make offering, and we're going to use this stone merchant thing. And you can see here, a small stone figure in the form of a wealthy market merchant. Offer the stone merchant to an altar to allow merchants to do business in the sanctuary. Grants gold drop bonus to sanctuary region. So on using this, it's got 2 things. On using this, I actually get an NPC who comes in as now a shopkeeper, where I can buy, sell, everything that you would expect, and get lore bits from talking to him. Also, from using that, in this region that around is surrounding this sanctuary, I now have a percentage bonus to my gold. Damn it. Where's my mouse? There it is. Which is down here. A lot of people, hey, what is this? There's 2 of them. This isn't like Dark Souls where all of it is just souls. This one has gold and salt. Salt is used for leveling up, upgrading equipment, etc., etc. Gold is simply only ever for reviving your character and purchasing stuff from stores. You'd never use gold to level up that I know of. Buying or selling, here to just talk. You can talk to him and he'll say, I ended up here as a merchant ship on a wreck somewhere in Imrian Sea. You can buy plenty of things from him. Oh, some of these things are new. It's so neat that it's different depending on what character and region you choose. The Salt Seeker's Ring is great because that reveals what location your missing lost salt is from, which is a mechanic we'll get into in a few minutes. You can sell any of your items to him, etc., etc. Over here at the altar now, seeing as we have 603 salt, if I go to level up, it costs 560 to level up. You can increase that by hitting these arrow keys, or on the controller, Y or X to lower and raise it, if you want to level up one or two more times in one sitting. So we'll level up once, and we will get a black pearl. Black pearls are used to level up your character. This game is incredibly deep. All of this is your branching level system. All of these are skills, stat upgrades, and so on and so forth into different professions, areas of combat, and the ones that are like flashing and glowing are like file sleeves where they give you an extra energy potion, extra healing potion, which for me is actually the meat bun or whatever it is, the hearty potato or hearty meat or whatever it is. And this is very deep. The game is incredibly deep, and I absolutely love it. Also, the music is fantastic. So, seeing as we're playing as a warrior, and just because I don't know what profession I'm going to be going down as this warrior, if I'm going to use swords, axes, stuff like that, I'm going to be safe on this. And I might just upgrade my strength 1 point, which increases my strength scaled weapons and attack. Or I could just go down to this middle one, which allows me access to these other branches over here that I would otherwise not be able to access. And I might just give myself this poultice potion, which gives me 1 extra. If I rest here, you can see now I have 4 hardy rolls instead of 3. That's essentially your Estus shards. So, I feel like enough of this game has been taught on about. So let's go up here. All those tombstones that were there were actually other players that passed away as I'm playing online. There are various ways to farm salt. As far as I know of, there are no enemies that don't reappear other than very unique enemies, and you'll be able to tell what they are because they glow when you fight them. And they only appear once. There's a Black Knight, or I think he's actually called a Bronze Knight according to the bestiary in this, but there's a Bronze Knight a bit later in the game that is kind of your first mini-boss. He's not your first boss, but he's definitely your first mini-boss that's like super hard to fight. He's got some wicked moves, beats the shit out of you, and he doesn't reappear after the first time you beat him. So we'll go in here, we could kill these bats because these bats poison you. I don't want to even show you the poison mechanic because it's a pain in the ass, just like it would be in a Souls game. Go over here so we can jump and... Well, there's items down here. There's secret loot down here, and actually, oh, this is a good idea, because now I can show you that. I forgot about that, but always explore doors! I don't feel like I should have to tell you this. Always explore doors, because over here, we got a spell and a shortcut back to the early part of this dungeon, this area. You cannot jump up ladders. Don't try. You can slide down them, but you cannot jump up them. Up here, we have our first, if you will call it a bonfire, because it's not really a bonfire, but it's this game's version of bonfires, and a lot of people would walk past it because they'll be like, oh, another shiny door, and just come up here and be like, oh, look over here. Don't. Go through this secret area into here, light these candles, and you now have a bonfire you can rest at and revive at when you die. Just a little hidden offshoot. Just like Dark Souls, some of them are a little harder to find than others. Go over here, and you can get this, which I believe is the Stone Blacksmith. That's correct. Stone Blacksmith allows you to upgrade your... Once you bring him back to the shrine, allows you to upgrade your weapons. And up here is our first boss. I'm streamlining to the first boss, the Sodden Knight, because I want to show you guys this fight. Because the first boss can be super easy or super hard, depending on if you're controlling the game correctly. Me, my first time fighting this guy, it was a nightmare because I kept trying to heal instead of... attack, because right button in this is using an item instead of attacking. And so I kept walking up to him and hitting Y, or no, hitting, I kept walking right up to him and hitting RB, hoping to attack, and I would just drink a potion. I would do that. But other than that, I might actually just let him kill me. Don't want to get hit by this lightning attack. He can stun lock him. He can also stun lock you. We have 277 salt. I'm gonna let him kill me just to show off the salt mechanic. So let's get him kill me. Might have been a bad idea considering his health is so low, which we'll find out in a few minutes. The Sodonite has stolen your 277 salt. Return to this location and slay your killer to regain your lost salt. A mysterious cleric receives 50. So the people that revive you actually take a portion of your gold, which is kind of what I mentioned earlier about them reviving you for money. However, this one is very similar to Bloodborne in this aspect, but it's not like Bloodborne in this aspect the same way. Like in Dark Souls, you just drop your bloodstain at a random location near your death, and you have to go collect it. Now he's glowing. He actually has my salt, and watch his health bar. You will be able to see arrows on his health bar. That's how much damage I have to do to him to get my salt back from him. So if I walk up to him, and I do... Oh shit. Also, in this, if you don't do that damage, you don't get your salt back. So now I have my salt back. And now I'm actually going to try and kill him because... Oh, it's got such range. This guy was a nightmare for me when I first fought him. Mostly because of the lightning attack. Because later in the fight after, well, I shouldn't say later in the fight because it's actually now. After he does it, he has a sword attack, like he just did, literally. And he likes to follow it up with another attack. Like there. That's exactly what I was just talking about. He likes to follow it up. So we're going to get up and hopefully heal real quick before he does his lightning attack, because I know it's coming. I rolled, you sack of dicks. And there it is. We might actually die again. Because these red vials, these red shards, they heal you so slowly. Let's throw that potato at him. I tried to shield. Oh! Oh, son of a bitch! I had him at the one. Yeah, now he's got my salt again. I misstepped. I thought my lunge, because I'm not used to this character class or this weapon. This one does not have nearly the range that my paladin does, and that's good. I would imagine that's going to take some getting used to if somebody was playing, if they were doing like switching character classes, but I just want to show you guys how it like beating the boss, because it's not at all like you would imagine in Dark Souls. Ah. That potato didn't do shit. That potato did not do shit. Oh, he's got such range on him. Come on, do your lightning. There it is. I said do your lightning, not your, like, 3-hit combo. God, the end part of this fight is such a nightmare to deal with this guy right now. And I'm probably dead. Oh, man. Quit being a sack of dicks. There we go. Okay. Got a little greedy, but it's better than dying twice in this goddamn video. So as you can see, we got a bunch of souls, bunch of salt, bunch of gold, and he said vanquished for beating the boss. We had the fortress key and the Sodonite's ashes. Now we can unlock that door, you know, down below that I didn't show you, but it's not the first door we come across, but it's one of the doors. And I'm actually gonna go over here real quick. There's an area over here. Enemies do come out of nowhere sometimes, so keep an eye out. Just want to come up here, kind of show you that you can get early access to other armor sets if you so choose. It is open-ended for the exploration, because up here there's actually, as far as I know, nothing. Nothing of super importance, at least for the early game. Up here is pretty much just another ring. You cannot get up there yet. And just for humor's sake, we'll show you this. You can fall to your death. So, now you guys seen a little bit of the gameplay. Oh yes, oh I forgot about this. We could show you this now. Because if you don't get killed by an enemy, your salt actually materializes as another bad guy. It actually like comes back as a bad guy. That wasn't there before. Oh, I forgot about I forgot about that. I thank you, game, for reminding me. Also, they drop a bunch of loot sometimes. So go over here. If you break a tombstone, it actually summons that person and how they died. Got the stone cleric now. So we'll go down here and you'll actually be able to see a shiny bad guy that wasn't there before. There's a bat there now. And by killing him, I got all my salt back. Notice how I said salt, like I was trying to not say souls, and I ended up just trying to cover my ass. Becomes very easy to say those kinds of things. So we'll go in here, and we're going to showcase one more quick thing. Obviously, leveling up 2 or 3 times at once, you get 2 black pearls. You can level up. You need more salt to ascend. You can go in here, and we'll just upgrade. Well, upgrade. I don't even know where swords would be in here. I don't even know if there is a sword thing right now. Oh my god, sword fighters all the way up there? You gotta go through pikemen to get it? Oh shit, we'll do it. And then upgrade our strength. Sometimes navigating this thing is a little tougher than you might imagine, but going here we'll use both of these, and now we've got a cleric and a blacksmith. Blacksmith allows you to buy certain weapons and armor that are actually totally new, because I'm playing a different person now. Arming sword, all these swords have different stats and abilities, like this one is probably really good because it's expensive as hell. Upgrading costs salt, so if we go in here, and I say, I want to upgrade my sword. For 1 lock of hair and 250 salt, it'll raise its attack by 4. So we'll upgrade, and then it'll be upgraded to the Varangian Spatha number 1, or level 1, rather than level 0, I guess you would call it. The cleric allows you to learn spells. Blessed Weapon. It's a class 2 prayer, so before you can even use it, you have to level up to class 2 in prayer. You can buy the Warhorn, which I believe regains stamina rapidly. That's not at all what I thought it was, because it's a new item at all. The fact that depending on who you're playing as, and depending on what you start as a character, the items are different, is truly remarkable to me. Because that's nothing like Dark Souls, and I think that aspect of this game is incredibly cool. I don't want to eat that, but I did. So, Salt Sanctuary. The game from everything I know, just continuously gets harder and harder and harder, and the second boss that I'm on in my regular file, which I'm starting to think I'm not supposed to be fighting just because of the brutal difficulty that it is. Compared to the Sodden Knight, the boss that I'm on, and I won't say the name or what they are just in case, you know, people are going to be planning on playing this, and I don't want to do spoilers that much. I don't want to spoil too much, but she, we'll just say, is a pain in the ass, and I feel like I'm not supposed to be there yet. But that's the point of these games, is walk into an area, explore, kind of Metroidvania, but not really, and just get your butt kicked. Go down here and get a pouch of salt. Not bad. Always can use more salt. And I don't know what else we're going to talk about. We'll open this door with the fortress key that we got. Even though nowhere near that entire area is explored. Greetings, traveler. Do you have a quest? I'll say no, because I said yes last time. That's unfortunate. Everyone needs a quest. Would you like to know about my quest? No. Excellent. Oh. Very well, be on your way. See, I never said no to him before. I should have said no to him before, because that's hilarious. Excellent. My quest is to invade the castle to the east, defeat its guardians, and slay the dragon. Castles must be invaded, and dragons must be slain, mustn't they? And if you continue to talk to them, they actually get more lore, more story. So, just like you would expect in those games, and I just got a free level there. Just like you would expect in Dark Souls and stuff. Always exhaust dialogue. Always exhaust dialogue, and I'm not going to go down because I went down last time, and this is a totally new area. I've never been in here, so before I spoil my damn self for this video, because I'm not going to continue playing on this file, I'm going to show you one last little bit of thing before we stop the video. I'm going to show you Mr. Fuckdick, and by Mr. Fuckdick, I of course mean the Bronze Knight. That was like a nightmare for about 30 to 40 minutes for me. That is if I'm going the right way. No, I'm not. I'm totally not going the right way. This was just a shortcut, now that I remember. Down here, there's also a guy over in here. Don't miss these secret little pathways. Don't miss secret pathways, because you will... That actually sucks, because what's up there is kind of useful, but... Hold down to light a torch. You might need it in certain areas of the game. These guys are a damn nightmare. That might actually be their name, even though it's not. If your gold falls down the pit, you don't get it. Try not to kill guys over pits like I just did. Going up here, we unlock one more quick shortcut, which you may actually be familiar with. There's our poison meter. And this unlocks the shortcut back to the Shivering Shore. We're going to go down. Kill these bats. I meant to do this attack, so that kills them like instantly. Open this door. Put our torch out. And I'm actually not going to step on this, because if you look up, you can see there's a trap there. I never tried getting him to hit the trap. I wonder if that's even a thing that can happen. Let's try and get him to hit the trap. You can see this thing on the ground. Oh my god, you could get him to hit the trap. And now we're going to stomp on his head. I just totally beat him in one try! Oh my god, I never even thought of doing that in my first file. I feel so dumb. Archers suck. Archers can get rid of your HP real quick, but I think we're going to stop it there because I'm performing way better on this than I was on my first try. I might actually start over. Oh my god. Yeah, Sultan Sanctuary is definitely a surprise hit, and I shouldn't say surprise because I think I knew when I first got announced that it was going to be really good, but the amount of fun that I've gotten out of it so far, the amount of rage and salt, no pun intended, that I've gotten out of it so far is, I don't know, it's good for the soul to get real frustrated and then overcome those obstacles that you're trying to get past. So that's Sultan Sanctuary, guys. I I hesitate to go further in the game because I don't want to actually spoil games with this PentaPERSPECTIVE series, but I highly recommend it. This game is on sale right now for like 16 bucks. I think it's normally 20. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. It might be 18 or $20, but I think it's totally worth it because from what I've heard, it's about a 10 to 11 hour game, depending on if you go, you know, at a moderate pace through it. It can be a little longer, but for the price point that they're asking and for the quality of the game itself, the graphics are a little off-putting, but they have their own unique charm that I would like, that I do like. However, the grimness of it and just the art style itself is a little kind of, to use the word, comic-y for the world that it's set in. I guess it's a little silly, but if you look past that and you look past the awkward controls, because if it's trying to be Dark Souls, changing those controls for Dark Souls players is a little tough. So if you're a Dark Souls fan, rebind your keys to what you would like. They offer rebinding. And don't die too much, but get a hell of a lot of salty. I don't even know what that word is. A hell of a lot of salty? I don't know. We're going to end it on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and of course, comment down below letting me know what you think of the game. If you own it, if you don't own it, are you going to pick it up because of this video? Because I hope you do, because it's definitely a good game. And if so, if you enjoyed me, please subscribe to the channel to support me in making these awesome videos for you. As always, my name is PentaHybrid. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.